big birthday girl today. Number 7, Hand Smash Tana. Number 716, Slim Skating. 77, 76, Joey Brown. 901, Violet A. Salts. 91, Avatar. 96, Bondage. 9707, Badass. Number 71, Tchaikovsky.
All right, so now that we've met everybody, we've been able to get our camera operating as well, so you can see the action that has already started. Rocky Mountain with a quick 4-0 lead after the first jam.
And it's okay if we miss the first jam, but around here we call that the first pancake.
The first pancake?
The first pancake, because you got to have one so that you can feed it to the dog.
Imagine pancakes if you ate them one by one. So if somebody, like, you ate a pancake and then they gave you a second, instead of a whole stack of them, and then a third, like, would you eat less pancake or would you eat more pancake? I would eat more.
I think I would eat more pancake.
I get it. I think the intimidation of the stack makes me eat less of them.
Well, then there's the soggy factor as well. Speaking of soggy, it is
All right. Sweet Cyanide is the lead jammer. 8-0 was that first jam. There was a second 4 points that was confirmed while we were chatting about pancakes. Wasatch trying to slow down the scoring opportunity now for Cyanide, but getting... Good job by a glow job here now. A 2-wall, but did that skate slip out? Did she know the skate slipped out? Looks like, yep. So back up off the ground and gonna recycle. Cyanide, after a very easy initial pass, is finding quite a challenge getting through, coming out of turn 2. We're calling the jam. Got all 4 points on that. That might be the hardest working 4 points that you're gonna get. That is one of those spots that if you're not familiar with roller derby, it's hard to understand how a person passed 4 people but never passed them.
Correct. And why we do so much work with our hips.
Mm-hmm.
That is the sweet spot for point gathering.
Yeah.
Up on the line, we have Pink Flamingo and Devil's Eyes Wasatch. Some nice defensive work by Hannah Smashtana and Avi.
Forearm call on Pink Flamingo is going to give a power jam to Devil's Ivy, who just popped right out of the back end of the pack going into turn 1. Now it's scoring time.
It's so unfortunate, bud, because Pink is just so tall that that is a regular penalty that she gets.
Yeah. Well, when you come up to the back of a blocker and that forearm just lays on the top of their back, you're inviting that penalty.
Yep.
Little peek.
I only come up to Pink's hips.
No?
And here comes Flamingo.
Ivy rejected off to the outside and had to recycle back behind Rocky.
Got some carnage on the floor over there with Hannah doing her thing.
Hannah smashed Tana.
And there goes Pink, fighting on through.
Initial pass complete. We'll see if Devil's Ivy and Wasatch want to call off or they got an appetite to keep this rolling. Only 40 seconds left in the jam timer. But that was an easy 4 on that pass for Pink Flamingo. Nice hit. That was coming in hot and rejected immediately. There goes Devil's Ivy. Finally solved that 3-wall. Points so far on the jam for Wasatch. 8 points on the jam for Rocky. We'll see what happened there at the whistles. We'll see what we've done to the scoreboard. Well, that was a fun, entertaining jam for everybody. And we weren't even really heavily penalized in that. 1 jammer penalty and 1 blocker penalty.
Flame and go. Flame and go.
And there's our beloved Tchaikovsky coming with some backseat announcing.
Yep. Announcers be announcing no matter where they are, even if they're derby players. Time out for Wasatch. This is everybody that's watching on the stream's favorite time because you get to hear us say a bunch of words about things. Some folks call those advertisements or sponsor reads. We're going to call them your favorite time to enjoy how cool we sound on a microphone.
All right, let me see if I can access my NPR voice here.
Ooh.
Yes. Have you ever dreamed of trying roller derby? Are you interested in skating with Rocky Mountain Roller Derby? We can teach you. And seriously, no, you don't need to know anything. All skill levels are welcome from newbies in our Pebbles program up to returning and veteran players looking to join an awesome community.
What'd you think, Derby fans? How'd she do? I give her that's a solid 8.5. Especially because that was a first read, so you didn't even have half of the words like mildly memorized. Like that's the when it sounds like you're not reading it, even though we told everyone that you're reading it. That was just spectacular. 8.5.
And also, I haven't announced since I got to do this with you and Johnny at Bestman's last year.
Holy macaroni!
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute. That's like somewhere in the neighborhood of like more than 6 months. I'm not good at math, so that's why I just use the words like neighborhood.
It's a good thing I flap my gums professionally. But and there's Fiona Gravel off the line.
Going up against Knuckles from Wasatch. Is it Wasatch? Wasatch? I don't know how folks in Colorado pronounce anything, so I'm trying to figure this stuff out.
Oh, you're only saying that because we have Tampa watch for
I'm saying that because you have a town called Buena Vista, and it's not said or pronounced Buena Vista, and that scrambles my brain.
the ever contentious Doorway versus Doorway. Nice work by Knuckles for Wasatch.
Yeah. Really quick to get that 4 points on the board. And looks like no stopping. Lots of room on the inside. Good wall off there by the blockers to open that crack up and allow those points to get on the board. This game is tightened up in a hurry. Sorry about that. 8-0 on the jam. Got an official review now, Rocky Mountain. I'm going to suggest that I think I know what this might be. I think this might be on that last scoring pass, it was pretty tight on that inside line, and I think that Rocky might be looking for a track cut. I don't think there was there's enough room to get through there from their opinion and vantage point. And why the heck not? But nope, we're pointing in turn one, so there's something happening in turn one that was at the furthest point from where we're sitting, but a good vantage point from their bench. So we'll see if
They really should get us a balcony to announce from, or field glasses.
I'm just saying we could put 30 or so cameras in the place, and then we just have all of those vantage points, and then we can see everything. But I wouldn't mind a balcony. That little perch where they normally put the stream over there in the right corner, you can see that where those windows are in the center of your stream, right under that air conditioning vent is where the stream is normally set. But I think it's an interestingly, I don't think it's the best view for the viewer from there. It's great for us though. When we get to announce it, we see the whole track. But from a camera perspective, it gets a little long, like this does here, but long in a way where a lot of action is. You get some good stuff in the front corner, but then we don't get all that love over here on this side of the track.
So Bud's right. If anyone on the stream wants to donate us a bunch of cameras,
right, we will take
more than happy to
camera donations. We will take switcher donations so we can manage all of those different feeds at one time.
We'll take Band-Aids donations. We'll take Otter Pops.
Ooh, okay. I don't know how long this is going to go, and I know our friends out in Streamland are cool. So they're going to want to enjoy this conversation, I think. Let's talk Otter Pops.
Proceed.
Give me, rank your top 3 flavors of Otter Pops. And then, extra cool points if you can remember any of the Otter Pop names that went along with those colors.
See, I was just going to go with colors, which would be...
Yeah. Most people don't even, I don't remember hardly any of the names of the Otter Pops. I just remember that they had them. But I do love Otter Pops just in general. I think they're such a great thing, and I don't know why people don't promote them more.
You're right. We should definitely talk about Otter Pops more, especially that move you could do when you were the coolest kid when you could rip the top open with your teeth. It was like the teenage equivalent of being able to get
Yes.
your beer bottle cap off on a counter.
All right, so top 3 flavors. Give me colors. Colors are fun.
See, I would go red, purple, blue, which is weird because I'm mostly suspicious of blue foods. How about you?
Blue, purple, red were that was my
Yeah.
triple jam.
But never green or yellow.
Nope, never green or yellow.
A back clock is being assessed to white 2-5. Black team will retain the
Okay. So it looks like over in turn 1, there was a back block by Jammer, number 25, Knuckles from Wasatch. So
Which means we will be starting with Peach Clobber for Rockiana Power Jam.
and they will retain their official review. So that's a huge momentum swing because Wasatch was really starting to gain some momentum and now just completely devastated that momentum. Power start. We'll see if Peach Clobber can capitalize on what's happening in this power start. Yeah, that's Booty Queen that was managing that one-on-one lockdown.
I was talking to on break. Seems like a lovely human, but has definitely given our gal some noise. Nice save from Peach Clobber.
With a huge hit to the outside. Looks like Bip was able to scrape themselves up off the floor and keep it rolling.
Peach and all that vegan-powered energy.
Anybody out there on Streamland, if you're watching, give us a holler and let us know how things are going. How does it sound? How does it look? How does it feel? Your feedback is our only way to know if things are actually happening. Otherwise, we're just talking to each other, which is okay. It's okay. Great move by Cyanide.
Hell taking off the star.
Completely exposing that 3-wall that wasn't together. Cyanide right through that center. Easy 4 points. Wasatch now has got to regroup. They want to slow down Cyanide at all. Trying with a 2-wall to the inside. That's not going to get it done. 8 points on the jam. And continuing to add to the total, Sweet Cyanide. 4 more on the board for Rocky Mountain. Forearm for Colonel Skirts.
Not be able to hear, but those are the dulcet tones of James Bond, the Rocky coach, who moonlights calling ships in from sea during storms.
Cyanide through for another 4 on the board, 16 on the jam, 36 seconds left. Just an absolute huge momentum shift for Rocky Mountain.
Are we assuming I'm the announcer with the higher voice?
I don't know. I was really just guessing at this point.
Thank you. Your mom tries. Let us know if that's better.
First time check. Can only hear one announcer.
And we are doing a test to see if we can get the second announcer. Right, come on, we're trying.
able to put 4 points on the board. Sorry, 8 points on the board on that jam. Clink, Flame, and Go helps extend that lead, 56-25, inside of 19 minutes. Official timeout. While we're having an official timeout, I'm going to introduce the officials because we didn't get to that while we were trying to get through our production stuff. Stack Trace, Snarkomedes, Ultraviolet Blue, Serotonin, Lucky Cat, Fights, Active Sonar, Speedster, and Princess Powwow. That's all of our non-skating officials. Our skating officials include Primeval, Marquis de Sass, Mantis, Lost in Your Thighs, Battle-In, Rocco, Thomas the Dank Engine, and Mycological Warfare. Much love and respect to all of our skating and non-skating officials. They're really, really important. Without them, we don't do this. At least not fairly. We do it crazily.
And on that note, if you ever want to skate but you're not sure about the full contact part, or you just want to help and support, we are always looking for help, whether it's volunteering on or off
Saying that the video window is
or working behind the scenes to keep things running.
Well, we're still official timeouting. Let's get some shout outs over here on our stream. Where are you at? Where are you watching from? Who are you cheering for? Tell us what you're excited about for this incredible Saturday at Roller Derby. Is there any specific games you're 100% going to make sure you tune in for? Or let us know. Help us feel it. Let us know, friends down in Streamland, if this sounds any better, if you can hear any better. Hell Honey says hi to Rocky Mountain on behalf of Hell Honey.
And we have some love for number 22 on the Wasatch team, Off the Rails.
Gotta love it. Sibling of Off the Rails. Yay. With a lead jammer picked up now by Wasatch. Number 569, that's Fruit Smacks. In control of the jam. Peach Clobber, initial pass completed and came up hot. "17 minutes to go in the period, 56-28. Here at number one. In fact, so we're going to do two of these. If you're not familiar with the sport,
We have number 93, Doubles Ivy on the line for Wasatch. Sherry showing us some very nice
Game of the day against Elevated.
Clobbered to the outside was Devil's Ivy. Trying to recycle, but that hit did take the blocker off the track as well. So
Yes.
you have to go all the way back, which is nice.
There's a nice tight pack. Here comes Cyanide out the front. Devil's Ivy popping out the front.
Devil's Ivy, lead jammer.
Yeah, see.
Traffic jam of blockers holding back the jammers in turn 3. Wave trying to get that initial pass, but keeps getting forced off. Spiraled to the ground was Devil's Ivy. Ivy able to get through and get 4 points on the board for Wasatch, but is gassed. Bench is imploring Ivy to call this jam off now that Oeve has made the initial pass. But jammers be jammers.
Yeah, they do.
They'll listen for a while, but then they'll take their own
They'll live their
opinions
own
there.
life.
Yay, we can hear everybody.
Yay!
And it turns out, we've just discovered, and this might be new to everyone, so take a note. If there's a mute button, check it. See if it's pressed or not, because sometimes it is. And when it is, things don't work. And this whole time, they've been not hearing your
My
luscious-
witticisms.
your luscious NPR voice or your amazing witticisms. And now they finally can. Which is a perfect time because we've got nothing going on. There's a bunch of people just standing around waiting to tell us information during this team timeout.
Should
Or
we-
official review, I should say.
Read some things in the meantime. Our bar is sponsored by Ratio, Room for Friends, and Sobo Liquors. Interested in sponsoring our Mardi? Check us out online at RockyMountainRollerDerby.org.
All right.
Getting a lot of love from Manny Paws on the feed.
Team timeout's over, which is great. 19-point lead for Rocky Mountain. 15 minutes left in the period. What do we got jamming?
Pink Flamingo?
That one's easy. She's the tallest person out there, so we never even have to look for a number.
Nope.
Number 25 is Knuckles in white. Pink Flamingo is lead jammer, though. Lots of room on the inside for a moment there, but then
I do not envy that wall with Hannah Smash Tana and the skirt of doom.
Hannah smashed Hannah with an arm hook that seemed to be all right. That's a new maneuver. That one's
And
not, though.
We've
When
got
Zoom Bayou just throws you on the inside and says, deal with that one.
Yeah, she does. Zoom Bayou, mother of two and destroyer of worlds. Some really excellent movement from both of the teams happening out here on the floor.
Pink Flamingo had a real easy opportunity to get that initial pass down, but now Wasatch has got themselves together and put her in lockdown.
Pink casually turning around to have a full conversation with James Bond mid-work.
Got some offensive help and was able to get through, but Knuckles got that initial pass down. There goes 4 on the board on that pass from Pink, and now decision time. Can the wall hold Knuckles back from another 4?
Pink trying to do that bean dip on the outside.
Okay. Got defended by 7 layers of dip,
Uh-huh.
and that'll be the last dip commentary I make today.
Ooh, and Knuckles has a free avenue.
Knuckles and Pink both have 4 points on the board. This should get another 4 for Pink after that pass and then a call.
That was a scrappy jam, bud.
Yeah, and in a game like this, every point's going to matter. So I appreciate that you know, Pink didn't go for the very initial, we got our points, we didn't get the jam called off in time, we'll keep it at a tie. She was like, no, we're gonna get a few more.
Pick them up. Every penny counts.
Make sure that we got this lead expanded instead of the retraction that keeps happening. 999 in white is Glow Job towing the jam line. Taking on Fiona Grapple. Rocky Mountain Roller Derby. Glow Job chest to chest, stretching out the half of the pack that allows for free movement.
And here comes
Time to
Fee
get moving.
ripping around that corner.
Get those crossovers working to get speed. Grapple's coming in hot. Body's hitting the floor, but I think that Rocky was able to squeak 3. 3-1. Nice
work.
job.
And that's on very little sleep, as Fee is currently in nursing school and working overnights. You gotta love the tenacity of coming to practice after that.
As a former athlete, I always found the more tired I was mentally before an actual game somehow helped me because I couldn't overthink stuff, and so I had to just rely on the things I'd learned through practice.
Yeah, a little exhaustion really damps down that anxiety. Beautiful work from the Wasatch jammer, just clawing her way on through.
That's Devil's Ivy, lead jammer for Wasatch.
I hope you all are having as much fun watching this game as we are.
Off the rail, excuse me, not off the rails, that is Peach Clobber. Able to get that initial pass for Rocky Mountain, but the jam got called off before any damage could get done. 2-point collection for Wasatch. The Midnight Terror now 45 points on the board. The 5280 Fight Club, you know them as Rocky Mountain Roller Derby, 68 points on the board. 23-point lead inside of 11 minutes to go in period number 1. Number 25 in white is Knuckles towing the jam line. Sweet Cyanide once again for Rocky Mountain.
And
Who's the jammer on record? Knuckles. Lead jammer for the Midnight Terror. Sweet Cyanide, initial pass complete. Peek over the shoulder by Knuckles. Trying to determine when to call, and time running out. Have to tap and call. Settle on that jam.
if you are interested in seeing even more roller derby, our next bout is August 2nd. We will be holding a sensory-friendly bout during the day for all of our non-neurotypical buddies, which appears to be a large subsection of the derby population.
Pink Flamingo taking on Eve Hell.
We got Slim Skady and Chai.
The cavalcade of penalties. Wow, Pink Flamingo gets initial pass done. Bounces off Chai Kilski.
Kilski, and they both kind of went, "Excuse me, hello."
Chai was definitely smiling, but you couldn't tell with the mask on.
You have to look for the
one of my favorite
eyes.
things about that is when Chai has the mask on and a tinted visor scenario.
Yep.
Just, no identification of emotions on that skater's face, but you will definitely know what's going on when she contacts you. Pink Flamingo, 4 points on the board.
And Chai doing some sneaky work on the outside to maybe play some O for Pink coming up.
I'm remiss to say that we missed the penalty on the jammer from Wasatch, so Evel was in the box that whole time. At least the last 30 seconds anyway.
Some very nice offense from the Rocky team, and Pink's going to call it while the Wasatch jammer is still in the box. Some good strategy there.
And in a game like this, Wasatch really has to keep an eye on their jammer penalties. They're doing okay with losing a blocker or two and still maintaining some pack control, especially jammer control, but once they lose the person that's putting points on the board, they're at a humongous disadvantage.
That's a big
'Cause
problem.
they're not the type of team that have the type of jammers that are going to put up a 20 spot. Mm-hmm. You know, Rocky's got a couple of skaters that have that ability to just, flash bury you with a 20-point jam. While
And from what I understand from talking to some of the Wasatch gals earlier on, they are missing a couple of their regular jammers today.
I mean, just looking at the roster, I see 4 skaters with lines drawn through their names, which means they're not participating, at least in this contest. Mm-hmm. And that, that changes everything that you hope to do as a team. It changes how you practice, or how you're going to play versus how you practice, because you don't have all your ammunition.
Yep, and having that depth of bench, especially as the day gets hotter and people start to get tired and potentially get injured, it's good to have some extra bodies on the floor.
If you're watching and you were like, I don't want to go to the roller dome because it's going to be stupid hot inside the building, I am here to tell you that it is alarmingly cool.
It is.
Inside of it. Like, normally in this situation, I'd be a sweaty mess by now, and I feel fresh as a daisy. So don't let the heat stop you from coming down and hanging out with us at Roller Dome and watching a good day of roller derby.
We have the bar open and the Pink Elephant food truck outside delivering us some delicious meals.
I'm going to get a Euro after this game.
Ah, excellent. I do miss the potato truck, though.
Yeah. I like potatoes.
I do.
Potatoes are the only food item that I think ketchup belongs on. What do you think about that hot take?
I was thinking, I think potatoes are the only food item that you can also launch successfully out of a cannon. So really, they're just a versatile item all around, bud.
It's true. Power start for Rocky Mountain as we get rolling back to action. Fiona Grapple is your jammer on record.
Using-
the only jammer on the track.
Violet A. Saltz is a human riot shield there, making her way through the pack.
Riot Shield. I love that. Eve Hell back out of the penalty box and engaged with the pack, looking for that initial pass.
Big thump right into Lilo and Stitches, getting those birthday girl spankings in early from the opposite team's jammer. Eve's got the star off.
Fiona Grapple, Rocky Mountain lead jammer.
We got Oi and Daisy up on Pip.
That's a challenging one-on-one block to get through. Nice work there by Bip to get through, and is now the jammer on record and screaming at folks.
Screaming. We have a friend up in Boulder who enjoys doing that as well.
Bip able to get through for 4 points, but trailing the 4 that was just registered by Fiona Grapple.
Bip coming around with a big grin and a big pair of lungs, and slightly tactical. Slightly tactical with the screaming, not so much with the execution, but a big smile, which we love to see.
4 points for Wasatch on that. Looks like 5 points we're going to pick up by Rocky Mountain, bringing our totals to 80-49. Jam number 16. Ooh, just getting back on the track before that 5-second whistle. We are 5 on 5. 80 wheels on the track, and only one set of those wheels matter, and that is Peach Clobber, who's the lead jammer.
Ooh,
Quick 4.
who
And
just
sap.
slides on through like a greased pig, bud.
Ooh, that's efficient.
Efficient and slippery.
All right. Bip back on the track, captain for Wasatch, playing all of the roles. Blocking, pivot, jammer when needed. The utility knife for Wasatch. Number 25 in white, Knuckles.
Knuckles versus Sai.
Sweet side-eye, number 4 in your program.
And
I always mention the program that doesn't exist.
Yes.
The folks at home really enjoy that, so you were wondering why I keep referencing it.
Oh,
Knuckles,
and
though.
Knuckles squeaking out the front again. Managed to do that several times during this game.
Cyanide has been chasing the last 2 jams after having a perfect jammer efficiency record. So, is that because they've got a matchup that's now a little bit more equalized with what Cyanide's able to do? Mm-hmm. Did Wasatch figure out how to maybe approach the plan to block Cy. Who knows? But back-to-back success for Wasatch, that's going to help them work their way back into this contest.
Well, if we could get our girls to stay home from those pesky USARS tournaments, that's where Cy's been for the last week.
Fruit Smacks is taking on Pink Flamingo. Pink.
Oh, and we have a 3x4 happening. Wasatch has one in the box. And Pink pulls out lead.
She is operating as the momentum destroyer. Mm-hmm. As soon as Wasatch feels like some positivity and things are going well, Pink toes the jam line and takes over.
Pink does what she does, where she just casually steps over the pack.
Like in the NBA or in WNBA basketball, they talk about wingspan and how important that is for a lot of players that are, of certain height and are expected a certain wingspan, but they have longer arms, so that makes them that much more gives them that much more ability because of that length. And I think Pink is like the roller derby version of that.
She is
Her legs
indeed.
are so long, it allows her to do things that other people just can't do because of that length. So her effortless, aerial steps over the apex, for most people, they've got to fly through the air, a foot above the ground for 10, 12 feet, and she just takes a long step, and she's doing the exact same thing.
And it always looks like she's just on hydraulic lifts, like her feet just kind of fold up like the plane wheels do.
Yeah. Really tough to defend against.
Very tough to defend against. And Pink, I think, drove about 3 hours to be here today. Ooh, big hit by Colonel Skirts right in the sternum.
Yeah.
Oh, which unfortunately will get them landed in the box.
That's an interesting result to that. I don't know what that penalty, what draws that penalty other than it being a big hit, because for Pink to spin her around and land on her backside, that means that she was sideways.
Maybe clockwise?
She had to have been sideways to land in that position.
Correct.
Which means she had to have taken it in the chest and her momentum had gone that way.
Which is a legal hit.
I don't know. Unless it was an elbow or a forearm, and that, because her back was to us, it was tough to see where the impact point was.
Which I guess is why we're back here behind the barrier, and our fine zebras are out there doing the heavy lifting.
Wonderful viewpoint to make the right call.
Mm-hmm. And we have some jammer on jammer violence with Fee trying to feed Devil's Ivy into the corner there. Ooh, with Devil's Ivy quick on her heels.
Fiona enjoying that lead jammer time, but only for a moment, because Devil's Ivy is coming in hot. Already with initial pass, but now we've got a sped up pack.
Got to get him moving like heat molecules, bud. Ooh, a lot of people hitting the floor.
I love that move to get out of the apex, too.
Yeah.
That's really a good recognition from whoever's leading that wall to be like, we've got a moment to get out of this apex. Let's move.
For all that it looks like a bar fight on the floor, there is a considerable amount of strategy and communication that needs to happen to make things effective.
And a very shocking low amounts of bar stools being used during the bar fight.
Although Jams was telling me an excellent story about some Renegade Derby she was playing at one point where people were punching each other.
Oh.
Can't decide if that made me want to play or never play.
Roller derby with those like inflatable pugil sticks.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Or the sumo suits.
Yeah, I'm certain it's happened at RollerCon where every skater was dressed in an inflatable.
Yes.
I haven't been to RollerCon since 2015.
It's so hot. So hot and so far.
I might go next year.
Peach Clobber. Coming around that corner. Some beautiful unison work by your announcers. It's a chloral effect.
It gets that layered vocal effect. Really.
Yes.
That was smooth, lean back for 4. Clobber coming into turn 1 and hitting the apex where all 4 of the blockers for Wasatch are waiting. They'd seen enough of that scoring, and they were like, we're going to stop that now with our bodies.
Peach just threading her way on through that pack. Nice work.
Nice move, forcing that skater to try to rush to the outside and then cut right back to the in, and there was no stopping. Good. Head and shoulder fakes. I love them. A juke or a deke, as you might want to refer it.
Oh, look at that.
Do you prefer deke or juke? Deke is more of a hockey term. Juke more of a on the feet term, whether it's soccer or football. Derby likes they use them both. I don't know if you have a preference.
Well, neither, because I don't do either very well, bud.
Oh goodness!
I'm more of a run through it than go around it type of skill set.
Just a smash and grab.
Yes.
Well, all this conversation has brought us into intermission, which means it's time to go hydrate, get a snack, get comfortable, check on your air conditioning and make sure it's operating properly, because the last thing you want to do is be in the middle of the second half and have that go out. So
Correct.
Do some maintenance.
And we have to go make sure our big fan is working, because apparently it smelled a little like burning earlier. So we will go check that out with our beautiful volunteer crew here.
All right, team. We'll see you in a few.